It's the weekend, man. We're super pumped.
Where's the weekend?
Where's the weekend? No, blinded by the lights. We got some great stuff to talk about today, but first, let's talk about our guest for this week, the one and only Jared Becker. He is like Hollywood's hottest rising star right now.
He is, man. He is not only starring in other people's content, but this guy is writing and directing and producing his own content, and he's killing it right now, man. He's like fast rising, man.
Yeah, I'm super excited for everybody to learn his story because he is a veteran and he has served our country very well, and he's just such an amazing individual, always brings the positive attitude to everything he does. So everybody's really going to love this interview.
Oh, yeah.
But
plus...
no,
go ahead.
That is later on in the show. Now, let's get a little crazy. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Crazy Ant Farm. You guys know it's episode 166 this week, man.
You see that? That's episode 200 on the horizon.
It's right there.
Yeah, it's right there, man.
Oh, my goodness. Woo! So freaking pumped. We have a whole bunch to talk to you about. But first, you guys know your host with the most, myself, J-Lo Fantastic, and the one and only Mal.
What's up?
You guys know you can follow us both on social media, so be sure to do that while you're listening to the podcast. And, of course, we teased it on social media. We're talking about the Emmys, basically anything and everything going down with the Emmys, and a little bit of Lovecraft Country. See, get nominated but got canceled.
Yeah, like what?
I know, it's fucking crazy, man. I'm just saying, it should have got season 2. But of course, you guys know if it's going down to Hollywood, we're talking about it. We got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about, and we're gonna get a little crazy.
Hell yes, we are. You know we are.
Exactly. But before we get this thing started, be sure to head over to our website, www.crazyantmedia.com, where you can start rocking the latest and greatest Crazy Ant Media gear. We have all of the promotions always, so be sure to follow us on social media so you can know when those promotions are. We have something for everyone, and all of the proceeds will be going towards our post-production for our film Deadline.
That's right.
And we would greatly appreciate it because, man, oh man, it's a wild ride, but we're along with the crazy train, man. All right, let's get it started. Emmy nominations. As you know, the Emmy nominations were announced this week on Tuesday. The Netflix's The Crown and Disney Plus's The Mandalorian tied for the most nominations with 24.
Yes.
Among platforms, as usual, fight between HBO and Netflix, with a combined HBO and HBO Max just edging Netflix out of the total nominations, 130 to 129. So close. And Disney Plus saw 71 nominations, while NBC was 4th overall with 46, and a strong showing for Broadcast Network in the age of streaming. The Primetime Emmys, you guys know, will be airing live Sundays, September 19th on CBS, and will stream on Paramount Plus at the same time.
Yeah, NBC should be proud because nobody fucking watches broadcast networks anymore. So to get that many nominations, hey, congratulations.
Exactly.
Now, the big question going in, right? We hear it constantly. We heard it right before Black Widow hit the box office. We hear it about the streaming shows. We hear it about superhero fatigue. Is there superhero? Everybody wants to say that there is. Well, the answer is no. Completely wrong. There is no superhero fatigue, as you saw with Black Widow at the box office dominating. And HBO's Watchmen, as you guys know, made television history in the first ever comic book adaptation to win a major Emmy Award last year for taking home Best Limited Series. This year, comic book adaptations made an even more heroic showing at the Emmy Awards. 39 nominations across 6 series. And for the first time in Emmy's history, 2 comic book adaptations earned nods in the top categories, not just below-the-line categories, top categories. WandaVision for Best Limited Series, and Amazon Prime's video, The Boys, for Best Drama Series. WandaVision, by the way, one of the leading nominees all around, just under The Big Boys, 23 nominations, including Best Actress for Elizabeth Olsen. Yeah. Yeah, I'm so freaking excited about that one.
I know. I mean, it's just freaking awesome. It's a great time to be a geek. It's a great time to be a nerd with all of Mandalorian stuff and all the superhero stuff.
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, we're finally getting the recognition that we deserve. Pop culture is all around it. We love it. And, of course, you guys know we have all of the nominations for you. So, let's get into it. I mean, start with the biggest category, drama series. This one nominated. The nominees are The Boys, Bridgerton, The Crown, The Handmaid's Tale, Lovecraft Country, The Mandalorian, Pose, and This Is Us.
Man,
this is a tough category.
That is a tough category. Any of those, I'd be fine with winning, honestly. Lead actor in a drama series, Regé Jean Page from Bridgerton, Josh O'Connor from The Crown, Jonathan Majors from Lovecraft Country, Matthew Rhys from Perry Mason, Billy Porter from Pose, and the man, the myth, the legend himself, Sterling K. Brown, once again for This Is Us.
Yes, and lead actress in a drama series, Olivia Colman for The Crown, Emma Corrin for The Crown, Elizabeth Moss for Handmaid's Tale, Yuzo Adaba for In Treatment, Journey Smollett for Lovecraft Country, and MJ Rodriguez for Pose.
I gotta tell you, I think that one's coming down between Emma Corrin for The Crown and Lizzie for WandaVision.
Yeah, but or. It's a big year for Handmaid's Tale, too, so I wouldn't be surprised if that one has a big night.
It is. I just want to see somebody that hasn't won win. Damn it, you know what I'm saying? Supporting actor in a drama series. Let's see. We've got Tobias Menendez for The Crown. We've got O.T. Fabergé for The Handmaid's Tale. Max Magnolia for The Handmaid's Tale. Bradley Whitford for The Handmaid's Tale. Michael K. Williams for Lovecraft Country. Giancarlo Esposito for The Mandalorian. John Lithgow for Perry Mason. And Chris Sullivan. What? Toby! Hello! Toby got the nod. Chris Sullivan for This Is Us.
That makes sense with him losing his job and everything in this past season. Like, he had a lot of good storyline. Supporting actress in a drama series, we have Gillian Anderson, The Crown. Helena Bonham Carter for The Crown. Emerald Fennell from The Crown. Madeline Brewer from Handmaid's Tale. Anne Dowd from The Handmaid's Tale. Yvonne Shavetsky from The Handmaid's Tale. Samira Wiley from The Handmaid's Tale. And Androni Ellis from Lovecraft Country. See, this is what I'm talking about. Literally, I mean everybody from The Handmaid's Tale.
You know what's odd so far? Just talking so far, we haven't heard The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
No.
Which usually dominates, but no. Comedy series, let's jump into it. Blackish, Cobra Kai. What? That's kind of a dramedy. I don't know, but Cobra Kai. Emily in Paris. The Flight Attendant, Hacks, The Comiskey Method, Pen 15, and Ted Lasso, which I'm betting, if I was a betting man, that's the winner.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Boy, Emily in Paris taking some heat, the same way as it did when it got nominated for the Golden Globes.
Yeah.
Lay off, man, okay? Just lay off. It's a good show.
Oh, man. Lead actor in a comedy series, we got Anthony Anderson from Blackish, Kenan Thompson from Kenan, Michael Douglas from The Comiskey Method, William H. Macy from Shameless. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins. Because,
the Swan Song.
Yeah, and Jason Sudeikis from Ted Lasso.
Yes. Okay, lead actress in a comedy series. Tracy Ellis Ross for Blackish. Kaylee Cuoco for The Flight Attendant. Jean Smart for Hacks. Allison Janney for Mom. And Aldi Bryant for Shrill. I'm going with you, Allison Janney, probably for the same reason. The Swan Song on the way out.
Agreed.
And God knows she deserves it.
Yeah,
I mean, come on
especially
now.
how the last season turned out with fucking what's-her-face just bolting.
Yeah.
Crazy, man, crazy. Now we're at supporting actress in a comedy series. We got Rosie Perez, the flight attendant. She's hilarious in that. Hannah Einbinder from Hacks. Adie Bryant from SNL. Kate McKinnon from SNL. Cecily Strong from SNL, Juno Temple from Ted Lasso, and Hando Walmingham from Ted Lasso.
Okay.
I know, right?
Ted Lasso making an appearance a lot. Supporting actor in a comedy series. I'm betting we're going to see Ted Lasso on there a lot, too. Carl Lemons for Hacks. Paul Reiser for The Comiskey Method. Kenan Thompson for Saturday Night Live. Bowen Yang for Saturday Night Live. And here we go. Brett Goldstein for Ted Lasso. Brendan Hunt for Ted Lasso. Nick Mohammed for Ted Lasso. And Jeremy Swift for Ted Lasso. Basically, any male in a supporting role on Ted Lasso was nominated.
Right? Basically. Now heading over to limited or anthology series. Now this one is interesting because The Queen's Gambit wasn't out this year. It was a whole last year thing. So I'm very curious on to why it got nominated for it, because it won some awards last Emmy. So
it did.
Anyway, I May Destroy You, Mayor of Easttown, The Queen's Gambit, The Underground Railroad, and WandaVision.
Come on, WandaVision.
Right?
WandaVision. Lead actress in a limited anthology or movie. Cynthia Erivo for Genius. And, of course, she plays Aretha. Michael Cole, I May Destroy You. Kate Winslet for Mayor of Easttown. Anya Taylor-Joy for The Queen's Gambit. And Lizzie Olsen for WandaVision.
Yeah, buddy. And lead actor in a limited anthology/movie. We got Ewan McGregor from Halston. We got Lin-Manuel Miranda from Hamilton. Leslie Odom Jr. from Hamilton. Hugh Grant from The Undoing, and Paul Bettany from WandaVision.
Yes.
That's a tough category, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And if anybody was wondering, because of the weird format, is it a movie, is it a TV show, how the fuck, Hamilton, it did qualify. Obviously, we got some nominations for it, so there you go, if you were wondering. Supporting actor in a limited anthology and or movie, you got Daveed Diggs for Hamilton, Jonathan Groff for Hamilton, Anthony Ramos for Hamilton, Papa Isidou, I May Destroy You, Evan Peters for Mayor of Easttown, and Thomas Brody Sangster, The Queen's Gambit.
Very interesting. I feel like that category is going to go to somebody from Hamilton.
I think so.
Supporting actress in a limited anthology/movie. Renee Elise Goldsberry from Hamilton.
Eliza!
Philippa So from Hamilton.
Yes.
Julianne Nicholson from Mayor of Easttown. Jean Smart Mayer from Mayor of Easttown. Moses Ingram from Queen's Gambit. And Catherine Hahn from WandaVision.
Man, that's a tough one.
Yeah, right.
Obviously, the two from, Hamilton, come on now. But how do you not give it to Catherine Hahn? She was just so freaking phenomenal in WandaVision. Tough voting, man. Guest actor in a comedy series. Morgan Freeman. The Kaminsky Method. Daniel Kaluuya for Saturday Night Live. Alec Baldwin for Saturday Night Live. Dave Chappelle for Saturday Night Live. And Dan Levy for Saturday Night Live.
Right? Like, shit. Guest actor in a drama series. We got Charles Dance for The Crown. Don Cheadle, Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yes.
Courtney B. Vance, Lovecraft Country. Carl Weathers, The Mandalorian. And Timothy Olyphant from The Mandalorian.
I feel if Timothy won, that would be justified. Dad joke. All right, I'm just throwing it out there. Guest actress in a comedy series. Yvette Nicole Brown for a Black Lady sketch show. Issa Rae for a Black Lady sketch show. Jane Addams for Hacks. Kristen Wiig for Saturday Night Live. Maya Rudolph for Saturday Night Live. Bernadette Peters, yes, for Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. Come on
good,
now.
Man, so freaking good. And the last category of the evening, we have Guest Actress in a Drama Series. Claire Foy from The Crown. McKenna Grace, Handmaid's Tale. Alexis Bledel, The Handmaid's Tale. Sophie Okindo from Ratched. And Felicia Rashad from This Is Us. That's a tough category, too.
I'm sorry. But, I don't think she's got a chance in hell after what happened with her Bill Cosby statement.
Her performance, though.
I know. I just think a lot of people are going to be like, I'm personally pulling for Rory. Come on. Alexis Bledel deserves it after all this time, right?
Agreed.
All right, jumping into Disney. Hey, Disney's seeing some management changes again. Longtime Disney corporate communications chief, Zinnia Muka, and general counsel, Alan Braverman, are stepping down from their post at the year's end. The scheduled departures of two of the top corporate officers will coincide with Bob Iger's exit from Disney's executive chairman position after more than 45 years with Disney and ABC. Now, Muka, this is crazy. Senior executive vice president and chief communications officer, she had been with Disney's and been her chief spokesman since 2002, and she came on during the last years of Michael Eisner's tenure as CEO. She joined the company the year before as head of communications for ABC, and then was brought over by Eisner. And Braverman, senior executive and vice president and general counsel and secretary, joined ABC in 1993 and moved to Disney as the general counsel a decade later. This makes sense to me, though. They're like top lieutenants for Iger, and it only makes sense to me that they're all kind of leaving with Iger, and Chapek is going to be really instating himself. Like this is my people now. I've got to put them in, and
he's basically got to build his own fort.
Yeah,
like I mean, there's nobody gonna be staying around from the Iger term, which is very interesting because I mean, you had people like this past person who's was from the Eisner term, stayed with Iger, but I mean, they were super tight. But this one was kind of like, up in the air. Not a lot of people really agreed with Chapek coming in, but it's going to be very interesting to see how it all plays out.
And it's playing over in ABC too.
Yeah, exactly. Brian Morowitz is also exiting as Senior VP of Drama at ABC. Brian has been with ABC for almost 17 years and had been for most of his recent position since 2016. In March, when he was promoted by then Entertainment President Channing Dungey. There is no word yet on how Morowitz will be replaced or who will assume his drama duties. Craig Earwich, who serves as ABC Entertainment President in addition to his role as head of programming for Hulu, announced the departure. So, I mean, yeah, man, a lot of people are just leaving.
Well, and now that they are, like you said, he's going to have to build his own community, his own fort, his own art, and we're going to see now the true Chapek era.
Yeah.
And will it or will it not be able to keep up? I don't know. Woo! Okay, and like I said at the top of the show, with the Emmys and the superhero dominance and no superhero fatigue, the box office proved it. Black Widow, going into this weekend, has already amassed, now this is as of Thursday because we didn't have Friday's numbers yet, but $106 million at the domestic box office, $225 million worldwide. It officially crossed the $100 million mark just 6 days after its release, making it the fastest film to do so since COVID-19 pandemic began. Black Widow managed to outpace all of the other big films, including F9 and all the ones that have come out prior to it, right? The box office run for Black Widow has been huge. The film earned $13.2 million in its Thursday night previews and theatrical showings, set new pandemic-era benchmarks on opening day in multiple international markets, and altogether, Black Widow opened up to $218 million worldwide, including, and we found out the numbers because Disney wanted us to know this time, $60 million of it on Disney Plus. So, superhero fatigue? No.
That makes sense. They're like, let's not release the fucking numbers for Mulan or Raya and the Last Dragon.
Right.
But
it's Marvel.
But it's Marvel. It's fine.
Yeah, and Alan Bergman was like thrilled. He said, guys, it just proves after a 2-year delay with no Marvel movies, people want Marvel.
Exactly.
And boom, there you go.
Exactly. And I mean, this theater fatigue, too, I think is going to subside really soon.
Oh, yeah.
I went and saw Space Jam, in the first showing. It was 11:50 in the morning, and it was damn near packed.
Yeah, there you go.
I was super surprised. But, I mean, more exciting news for Marvel and Disney. Loki is the first Marvel Disney Plus scripted originals to score a renewal for a season 2. The comic book powerhouse used the mid-credit scene in the season finale this week to formally announce that Tom Hiddleston's star would be back for a second season. No additional details were included beyond the title card with the news, but super exciting, man. I gotta say, I love the series as a whole, but the last episode was my least favorite episode.
Really?
Yeah.
It was the last episode was strictly a setup for Doctor Strange
Yeah.
and the multiverse and like all the stuff that's going on. So I don't know. Feige just keeps talking, though. You should go follow Feige if you're not following him, because is Venom showing up in Spider-Man? He pretty much confirmed that by not denying it, and multiple Spider-Mans, he's just talking and talking and talking. You got to go follow that guy. Hey, that's not all they have, though. Remember, they're doing an Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
Another one with Harrison Ford. He's on a break right now because he got hurt. Remember, he's on a little break right now. But they're still filming. They're still in production. And guess what? They've added another older legend to the mix, and I'm saying that very politely. I don't have any issue with that. Antonio Banderas, Antonio himself, is the latest actor to join the cast of Indiana Jones 5. Banderas will be joining Harrison Ford, who returns, obviously, as the main protagonist, along with Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Mads Mikkelsen, Boyd Holbrook, Jeanette Renee Wilson, and Thomas Ketchum. Now, the upcoming adventure film, which began shooting at Pinewood Studios near London in June, marks the first Indiana Jones movie to be produced under the Disney banner. That's right, if you guys weren't familiar with that, they have the rights to it now. While plot details about who Banderas is playing and what new adventure Indy will be facing saying the film is currently slated to release in theaters on July 29th of next year.
Very interesting.
Very
interesting.
Antonio Banderas.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people were like kind of weary about it, but I feel like they're trying to gather up a star-studded cast so they can be like, no, come, Harrison Ford's fine.
Yeah, I just want to point out that Harrison Ford is now older than Sean Connery was when Sean Connery played his dad.
Yeah.
In the I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. I'm just okay.
Harrison Ford is very much Michael Bolton on the dating game. Crack that whip. Okay. Like, oh man. Yeah. Like, damn. Disney will raise the monthly and annual fees for ESPN Plus starting on August 13th. The price for an ESPN Plus subscription will raise to $6.99 a month, and that is $69.99 a year from the $5.99 a month and the $59.99 per year. Prices for the bundle of all the Disney Plus services, which include Hulu and Disney Plus, remains unchanged. So just get the bundle.
Yeah.
Like, they just raised the bundle probably about 6 months ago to $1 more, but yeah. I mean, it's still completely fine.
Totally worth it. Totally worth it.
It is.
Oh, Lily Singh, were you worried about her after her show got canceled on NBC? Well, don't be worried about her. Lily Singh and Jason Blair are apparently joining the upcoming second season of Hulu's comedy series Dollface. Singh is going to apparently play a queer bar owner named Liv, who explores both a relationship and a business venture with Stella, obviously played by Shay Mitchell. This marks the actor's first booked role since ending her late-night show, A Little Late with Lily Singh, and Blair apparently is going to play Liam, a new love interest for Izzy. So there you go, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't watched it, but I hear it's pretty good.
Yeah, I've heard through the grapevine. FX has tapped Zola director and co-writer Javiska Bravo to direct the pilot of Kindred, starring Mallory Johnson in the lead role. Based on the novel Octavia E. Butler, Kindred follows Diana Johnson, who's played by Johnson, a young black woman and aspiring writer who's moved to Los Angeles in pursuit of an independent future. She soon finds herself pulled back and forth in time to an 1800s plantation to which her family is intimately linked. As an interracial romance weaves through the past and present, Dana struggles to confront the secrets she never knew and ran through her blood.
Oh.
Ooh, very intense.
That sounds like a little bit like that movie. Didn't they do a movie like that kind of with Janelle Monáe?
A little bit.
Right? Yeah, a little bit like that, but back and forth to the plantation and stuff? I don't know.
The one that just came out right before COVID.
Yeah. All right, jumping to Fox. The Last Police has received a pilot order at Fox. It marks the first pilot order from the network of the 2021-22 development season. Now, The Last Police follows a small-town police detective who, as an asteroid races towards an apocalyptic collision with Earth, believes she's been chosen to save humanity, while her cynical partner can't decide what he'll enjoy more, her delusional failure or the end of the world itself. What a douchebag.
Yeah, seriously. Like, what the hell?
What the fuck, bro?
Is this going to be the guy we love to hate? Like, I feel like it is.
The asteroid should land on his ass. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. Oliver Hudson has been tapped as the male lead role opposite of Yoli Young in Fox's new drama series, The Cleaning Lady. Hudson is joining as a new series regular in a recasting that involved a redevelopment. He will play FBI agent Garrett Miller, a newly created character that will replace FBI Special Agent Gavin Ross, the character played in the pilot by Vincent Piazza, who has exited the project. Hudson's Garrett Miller is an intensely competitive, brilliant, and Shyamalan-like FBI agent on the trail of Thawne, who's played by Young and the Mob.
Yeah, Elodie Young, I'm just a huge fan. I haven't watched this one yet, but I mean, that's Elektra, guys, from Daredevil, if you didn't know. So I'm guessing that one's pretty good. Definitely want to check that one out.
Definitely.
All right, it wasn't all about the mouse. We have to jump to the bunny too, y'all. Warner Brothers has won apparently an auction for Chariot, a feature pitch package that has Top Gun Maverick helmet newcomer Joseph Kaczynski attached to direct. Now, Chariot is based on the graphic novel written by comic book creator and screenwriter Brian Edward Hill. The pick was sold as a synth-wave sci-fi thriller with strong roles for 2 A-list actors. We don't know who they will be, but apparently there's 2 strong roles. The Chariot was a Cold War-era secret government project to provide its star agent with a weapon unlike any other in the form of state-of-the-art sports car. It sank into the ocean decades ago, the agent along with it. Now, a petty criminal looking to reform his life has stumbled upon the Chariot, and he's about to find out that the agent's consciousness is still controlling it. Is this fucking Knight Rider? Is this Kit? It's like this dead agent, now like the voice in the car, and this car is badass. This sounds like a sci-fi Knight Rider.
Yeah,
like,
basically.
I don't know.
It's very interesting concept. HBO Max's Julia Child drama has rounded out its cast. Julia, which stars Sarah Lencher in the title role and added Robert Joy, Aaron Nofer, and James Cromwell.
Oh, I love James Cromwell.
And Adrian Lennox. And now, Julia is inspired by Child's extraordinary life and her long-running television show, The French Chef, which pioneered the popular cooking show genre, if anyone didn't know. At its heart, the series is a portrait of the loving marriage and an involving and complicated power dynamic. The series is currently in production. Stay tuned for more details. Sounds very interesting.
It does. And I mean, if you guys have never been to the Smithsonian and seen Julia Child's kitchen, that the TV, it's amazing. I mean, yeah, think about it. There's no there's no Emerald, there's no anybody without Julia Child first doing it. So
exactly.
That's fucking fantastic. Hey, what's Robert Downey Jr. doing now that the whole Marvel gig's over, right? We know he's producing, he's behind the scenes a lot, and he's got a relationship with HBO, with Perry Mason and all that. Well, he's continuing that relationship with HBO and jumping back to TV for the first time since, I think, Ally McBeal. What? Holy shit. Robert Downey Jr. is apparently set to co-star in, as well as produce, The Sympathizer, HBO's upcoming adaptation of Viet Thanh Nguyen's best-selling debut espionage thriller. The Sympathizer is described as a cross-culture satire about the struggles of a half-French, half-Vietnamese communist spy during the final days of the Vietnam War and his resulting exile to the United States. A worldwide search is currently underway for the lead role and the rest of the predominantly Vietnamese ensemble. So who's Robert Downey Jr. playing? Because obviously he's not going to be the Vietnamese lead.
Right.
Downey will apparently play multiple supporting roles, all of whom which will represent different arms of the American establishment. These main antagonists will include an up-and-coming Orange County congressman, a CIA operative, and a Hollywood film director.
Oh, wow.
I'm all in.
Yeah.
Downey Jr. is going to slay that shit.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I knew he wasn't going to Tropic Thunder that shit. But, I mean, I'm super excited about this, though, because searching the world for the title character, that means hopefully some undiscovered talent will be brought forth, and especially in a very underutilized race, and we need more Asian people coming in front of the screen and giving all their all. Now, the Gossip Girl reboot made its mark on HBO Max upon its premiere, becoming the streamer's most watched original series over the first week of availability. According to HBO Max, the updated Gossip Girl saw a record viewership over the first 4 days of availability. The first episode opened to 555,000 viewers in the U.S. households. Beyond HBO Max stats, Gossip Girl took over Twitter on its premiere date, with the show sliding into the #1 trending spot. Gossip Girl stayed at the top 5 trends through midday. And on TikTok, this series gained around 15 billion impressions of content inspired by the series. That's crazy. I'm surprised that this retelling, or reboot, basically, that's what it is. I'm surprised this reboot has gained this much momentum from, it seems like a younger audience, too.
Yeah, I guess it fits with the social media trend, though, right? It's that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So, I guess that's why. I don't know. But you're right. I think it's definitely trending to a younger audience, which, interesting.
Yeah.
Rutina Wesley, Mamie Gummer, Meryl Streep's daughter, as you were listening to the show last week, I told you,
Yes.
Nora Dunn and Henry G. Sanders are among 9 cast in HBO Max's DMZ, a DC drama based on the comic series created by Brian Wood and Ricardo Burchielli. And we told you about this one. Ava DuVernay and Robert Patino and Warner Brothers are actually behind it. So also joining are the stars Rosario Dawson and Benjamin Bratt in the limited series, and Venus Ariel, Jade Wu, Ray Gallegos, Adam Darcy, and Giovanni Falez. Wow, that's a huge cast.
Seriously?
DuVernay apparently directed the first episode and executive produces the series. DMZ is set in the near future when America is embroiled in a bitter civil war, leaving Manhattan, a demilitarized zone, hence DMZ, destroyed and isolated from the rest of the world. It chronicles the harrowing journey of fearless and fierce medic Alma Ortega, who's Rosario Dawson, to find the son she lost in the evacuation of New York City at the onset of the conflict. Now, apparently, the drama will examine the stark political and cultural divide in American society, where Alma must contend with the gangs, militias, demagogues, and warlords that control the lawless no man's land. Good.
Damn.
We need a form of entertainment that addresses these issues. We talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
And this is the way to do it. This is how you get people to talk.
That's crazy. And I mean, that's definitely going to be very entertaining. So that's going to start a whole bunch of conversation.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm excited about that one, man. Next one, my boy Zach Braff, the actor turned into director who snagged an Emmy nomination this week for directing a comedy series of his work on the hit show Ted Lasso, is going back in front of the camera. The actor has joined the cast of Moonshot, a New Lines sci-fi rom-com made for HBO Max. Cole Sprouse, Lana Condor, Mason Gooding, Emily Rudd, and Lucas Gage are attached to star. The story is set in a future where Mars has been terraformed and colonized by the best humanity has to offer. Two very different college students wind up joining forces to sneak aboard a space shuttle to the Red Planet in order to be united with their significant others.
Oh.
Very interesting.
Now, I'm just going to say, do you think their significant others probably hooked up on Mars and these two will probably hook up?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
For
I feel like that's how it's going to go.
That's how it always happens. But I just love, sci-fi is coming back into the forefront.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been a while, right? And it all started with Tom Cruise announcing that he wanted to do a film in space.
That's what
I'm
it
just
is.
kidding. I don't know. But it is good to see, though. You're right.
It is.
Oh, yeah. This is a good one, too. Oscar winner Matthew A. Cherry. Remember Hair Love, the animated short that won for the Oscar? Hair Love? Apparently, he's partnering with director-writer Chaz Bottoms to adapt Bottoms' animated short Batu, an animated musical. They're going to turn it into a series. And get this, Cartoon Network is going to be on board to develop it. Batu, with Cherry and Bottoms, is described as coming-of-age musical comedy series about a young group of misfit dreamers who move to their own beat. Batu will follow Chicago teens Otis and Jada, who are gifted dancers but free spirits who find themselves outcasts in a world of mainstream dance. They join a troupe of Hiplet, a mix of hip-hop and a ballet dance. Dancers where they find acceptance among their peers and instructors. That's interesting.
That's very interesting. I mean, we don't get a lot of content where it's about ballet and dance and stuff like that, and especially to bring inclusiveness into it, I feel like that's a good move.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, heading over to Viacom CBS, Jean Smart, who we just talked about for Emmy nominations, who is generating significant Emmy Award buzz thanks to her starring turn in HBO Max's comedy Hacks, which I heard is pretty good. I haven't started it, but I heard it's pretty good. Is the latest to join the all-star cast of Babylon, the ode to Hollywood's golden age, with Damien Chazelle wrote and is directing for Paramount Pictures. As we've told you on previous shows, Margot Robbie, Brad Pitt, Diego Calva, and along with Jovan Abdubu, Lin Jun Lee, Catherine Waterston led the cast in the production as they began shooting in Los Angeles this last week. Sources say that Smart is playing Hollywood journalist, critic who can make or break careers. Paramount planning a platformed release opening limitedly on December 25th, Christmas Day, 2022, before a wide release on January 6th of 2023.
I'm super pumped about this one. We've been talking about it for a while now, at least a few months. But Damien Chazelle, fucking La La Land, you know he's done so. It's old Hollywood. You're talking about old Hollywood, right? Talkie era and everything. So I mean, I'm all in. I'm so excited about
anything
this film.
Brad Pitt's attached to. I like to add Astra because Brad Pitt. I mean,
it's true. It's true. It's all about hair for you.
I mean,
Patrick Dempsey, Brad Pitt, they've all got good hair.
Yes,
that's what it is. I think that's what it is. Maybe. I mean, they can also act, I mean, they've got good hair. Hey, that guy that directed WandaVision, he's pretty popular right now thanks to that, right? I'm talking about Matt Shakman. Well, apparently he's been tapped to help the other guys, Paramount, instead of Marvel and Disney. He's been brought on board by Paramount and Bad Robot to direct the next Star Trek feature film. Now, the cast, however, remains unclear, although I'm pretty sure they're trying to get the new iteration of them, Chris Pine, all the guys back. Shakman directed one previous feature film, the 2015 indie thriller Cut Bank, with Liam Hemsworth and Billy Bob Thornton. Oh,
very interesting.
I can't say I've ever heard of that one, but I'm going to go back and watch it now. Hey, look. Fact is, he was brilliant. What he did on WandaVision definitely gets him a shot at other things.
Exactly. I mean, you piqued my interest. So we'll see. We'll see. CBS and the Television Academy have tapped Cedric the Entertainer to host the 2021 Emmy Awards.
Oh.
The awards will return to their usual home at the Microsoft Theater in downtown LA for the September 19th ceremony. The show is also featured a limited in-person audience of nominees and their guest as last year's virtual affair. After last year's virtual affair, the executive producers of last year's well-reviewed show, Reginald Holdland and Ian Stewart, and director Hamish Hamilton will return for the 2021 Emmys.
Yeah, good call.
That's really good.
Good call, because they're brilliant. And I thought last year's Emmys were done really well.
Yeah, they executed it very well.
Exactly. Oh, and hey, by the way, guys, if you hadn't figured out, we've jumped to the I.
Yes.
Viacom CBS.
I said Viacom CBS.
Did you?
Yeah.
See, I was confused by the hair.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about the hair.
It's okay.
Because I don't have any hair.
He forgets things.
It's true. Like hair. Hey, Jerry O'Connell. You remember that guy? Jerry Maguire? Yeah. And Stand By Me. I'm always going to remember him, Stand By Me. And now what? Star Trek Lower Decks. He's on there as the second in command. Jerry O'Connell, anyway, has joined daytime talk show The Talk as its first male co-host. More than 3 months after former co-host Sharon Osbourne made her controversial exit. O'Connell expands the team of co-hosts that already includes Cheryl Underwood, Carrie Ann Inaba, Amanda Klutz, Eve, and Elaine Welterton. Now, his addition comes after, like I said, Osbourne left the show in March after coming under fire for defending Piers Morgan's controversial comments about mental health and Meghan Markle. Yeah.
I mean, The Talk and The View are definitions of controversial. It just is what it is. They like to stir up some shit. Of course, it's needed because, it's the debate of America, everybody having conversations, but it's just all a bunch of people arguing.
I like the idea, though, of adding a male.
Yeah.
I think The View should add a male after all these years, too. You need a male point of view.
Yeah.
I get when both these shows started, it was, we need to hear more from females. We need more female input and female. But it's time now. And maybe, what's her face? Megan there is, McCain is leaving The View, so maybe they put in a guy.
Exactly.
Just saying.
You never know. Alexa Davalos has been tapped to lead opposite of Julian McCann for CBS's FBI Most Wanted, the show's upcoming third season. As a new series regular, she will play the FBI agent who joins Jess's team in addition to McCann. See, you messed me all up.
I know, it's fine.
Davalos joined fellow regulars Kellen Lutz, Roxy Sternberg, Keisha Castle-Hughes, and Miguel Gomez for the third season of FBI's Most Wanted. It will launch part of the 3-hour crossover premiere event alongside FBI in the new series FBI International to kick off the all FBI Tuesdays on CBS this fall.
Dick Wolf just wants to dominate every network with blocks of fucking shows. Okay.
That's crazy.
Seriously. Hey, no surprise here. Come on. People of my nation, gather. It's your time, okay? Paramount Plus has renewed its revival of the Nickelodeon hit iCarly for a second season. The series, which premiered in June on Paramount Plus, once again stars Miranda Cosgrove as influencer Carly Shay. Now, according to the streamer, the new iCarly has become one of Paramount Plus's top acquisition drivers and is among the platform's most watched series since its debut. 7 of the first season's 13 episodes are already out to be able to watch, and the rest will be rolling out soon. They roll out weekly on Thursdays. Season 2 is set to begin filming in Los Angeles in the fall, so not right around the corner.
That makes sense. I mean, all the kids who watched it have that. I mean, and the adults that watched it with their kids. I mean, that was one of the ones that was entertaining to actually watch.
Absolutely.
And standable. But now it's like an adult version of iCarly. I think it's great.
I do too, and we were talking about this off before we started recording and with Emily, and they didn't change anything. It's an adult version of it, and they're dealing with adult topics, but everything that worked with the original, they didn't fuck with. It works for the new one, so I'm glad about this. I enjoyed the show.
Exactly.
So.
This next one's very interesting. I don't know why. I mean, they just keep going back to the gravesite and digging up bodies, I guess. Paramount Plus has ordered Paramount Television Studios' Grease Rise of the Pink Ladies to series. The Grease prequels take place 4 years before Sandy and Danny's relationship throws Rydell High into its tailspin. Before rock and roll ruled before the T-Birds were the coolest guys in school. 4 fed-up outcast girls dare to have fun on their own terms and spark a moral panic that will change Rydell High forever. The hour-long musical comedy will highlight the rise of the original 4 Pink Ladies, Rizzo, Jan, Marty, and Frenchie, long before they had to whip into shape the clean-cut new girl from Australia. Digging up bodies, man. Leave it dead. Leave it dead. Like, I'm just saying. We don't care about Grease. I don't. I'm just saying. I don't know.
But Grease is the word.
Fuck,
is the word.
fuck
Is the
Grease.
word.
Like, seriously.
How can you hate Grease? It's all about hair. Goddamn, it's
sucks.
all about hair.
Grease
Travolta had
sucks.
hair. Bobby Conway had hair.
He was probably wearing a wig, that bald bastard. Like, I'm just saying.
Hey, if you weren't one of the lucky ones who saw A Quiet Place 2 in the theaters, you still can, by the way. It's still out there. But if you want to watch it at home, I did the other day, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's on Paramount Plus now, just so stream away. It actually began streaming just 45 days after its May release in the theaters. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's well worth it. If you have Paramount Plus, watch it. Check it out. It's a great movie.
Definitely sets up a third one.
Oh, yeah, definite.
Obviously. Jennifer Carpenter is set to return for the Dexter limited series revival at Showtime.
Speaking of digging up the dead.
Yeah, literally. Carpenter played Deb Morgan in the original Dexter series, which ran for 8 seasons back in 2006 to 2013. Carpenter's character is the adopted sister of Michael C. Hall's Dexter Morgan, and was famously killed in the show's season finale. Showtime declined to comment because on the casting because they're digging up bodies.
That's
man.
right, man. How you bring back a dead character? I mean, gonna be flashbacks? Is she gonna be like that ghost that's his conscience now? Like, how are we gonna do it? We don't know. We do not know, but we do know that Showtime has picked up the half-hour comedy series I Love This For You, based on former Saturday Night Live star Vanessa Bayer's own story of overcoming childhood leukemia. Oh. Now, Bayer co-created the series and will executive produce and star in it. Fellow Saturday Night Live alum Molly Shannon will also star, while Sybil Shepherd, who had originally signed on to star opposite Bayer and Shannon, has apparently departed the project. Her role is going to be recast. Now, the story follows a woman looking to shed her past cancer identity and dreaming of becoming a host at a home shopping channel. She moves away from her parents, falls in love, and befriends the star of a home shopping channel run by an eccentric billionaire, which is who Sybil Shepherd was supposed to play, the billionaire.
Yeah.
Yeah, this sounds interesting.
It does sound interesting. I mean, it's really going to bring like a moral compass plus with some, some greed. So it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very
And they're not digging up anybody.
They're not. They're not. I mean, you brought it up earlier. Dick Wolf is trying to rule the world. So this next one is very interesting. Heading over to NBC Universal. NBC is not moving forward with Law and Order for the Defense, which had been announced earlier this spring as the latest installment of the Dick Wolf's Law and Order franchise universe. Instead, Instead, the blacklist will shift to Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time this fall, and when For the Defense had originally been scheduled. Although For the Defense isn't moving forward, insiders confirmed that NBC, Wolf, and Universal TV are developing another title under the Law and Order banner. Why? I mean, you didn't even start. Like, come on.
I mean, you already have like 35,000 shows. Like,
I know.
Do we need another Law and
Seriously.
I mean, I love Law and Order, and organized crime is kicking ass. I'm great to see Stabler back and all that. But do we need another one?
I mean,
and this isn't the first one to not move forward. Remember, it was supposed to be Law and Order Hate Crimes.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, that one never saw the light of day either. So I don't know.
I don't know, man.
This one's kind of weird too, but hey, let's go with it. NBC apparently is back in business with Good Girls creator and executive producer Jenna Bans on another dark thriller dramedy about female friends from Universal Television. Well, NBC is developing Red Rum. I'm not sure if it's Red Rum. I don't know if it's related, but we'll find out, I guess. Written, directed, and executive produced by Zinga Stewart, based on her original idea. So I guess it's not related to Red Rum. And executive produced by Bans through her production banner, Minnesota Logging Company. Now, apparently the project was sold to NBC before they decided last month to not renew Good Girls for a 5th season. Red Rum is described as a sexy, swampy, dark dramedy thriller about two best friends, Jess and Sadie, who host a podcast about New Orleans' most infamous serial killers. But when they make fun of the wrong sociopath and people close to them start to turn up dead, our friends, who are grossly ill-equipped for this unfortunate circumstance, realize they have to do what the police haven't. Find the killer before they become the victims of their own story.
That sounds interesting. I'm
kind of down for this.
Yeah, I mean, shit. But I'm calling up Stephen King right now to see if he knows about this Red Rum bullshit.
Yeah, right?
Like, what the fuck?
I mean, hopefully that's a working title, because if not, I feel like King's going to sue.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm just saying.
Seriously. But this, I mean, it sounds like Good Girls meets, like, Riverdale. Like, kind of.
Set in New Orleans. I love anything set in New Orleans. If you're going to have sociopaths and creepy killers, New Orleans is the place to do it.
Keep it easy, man. Keep it easy. Heading over to Sony, Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad creator Vince Gilligan will stay at Sony Pictures Television for another 4 years. Thank you. Signing an extension to his exiting overall deal. Gilligan has been with Sony Television for more than 15 years. I mean, it's basically his home.
Yeah.
He will continue to serve as co-showrunner of Better Call Saul alongside co-creator Peter Gould for the AMC drama's 6th season and its last season. It will also be developing a new project for the studio via his Highbridge Productions banner. Very interesting. I wonder if it's going to have anything to do with crime or drugs.
I'm betting yes. But it seems to be his forte.
Exactly.
All right, jumping to MGM, the studio that wasn't for sale, is for sale, wasn't for sale, sold. MGM, Wes Took has signed on apparently to write MGM's reimagining of the Thomas Crown Affair starring Michael B. Jordan. What? That's going to be awesome. Jordan is also producing via his Outlier Society banner, as well as Joe and Anthony Russo through their Agbo banner. Now, the property is of a high priority for the studio, given how popular the intellectual property is at the moment, as well as how popular Michael B. Jordan is, being the industry's biggest stars. Took is also on the rise, as he's quickly becoming known as one of the most known directors and writers in demand right now. So, I mean, it's been a while. Thomas Crown Affair, that the last one I can remember was with Pierce Brosnan, and that was like way back in the day. So I don't know, but Michael B. Jordan with anything is going to do well.
Yeah, exactly. I have a story about him when we get later on into the box office. It's going to be great. Stay tuned for it. Lionsgate Spyglass Media, which acquired the Weinstein Company's film and television library in bankruptcy auction about 3 years ago, announced this week that it has sold a bulk of the feature film library to Lionsgate Entertainment. The sale, part of the broader partnership under which Lionsgate takes 20% equity stake in Spyglass, and Spyglass gets a first look TV deal with Lionsgate. The financial terms were not disclosed. The sale includes 3 Quentin Tarantino films, Django Unchained, Inglourious Basterds, and The Hateful Eight, as well as several other critically acclaimed Weinstein Productions nominations, including Silver Linings Playbook, The King's Speech, Fruitvale Station, and Spyglass will keep about 70 titles, including Project Runway, The Upside, and the forthcoming installment of the Scream franchise.
Oh.
But I mean, shit. I mean, those Tarantino movies, like, they brought in a good amount of funds. So that's crazy to sell off.
Yeah, man. I mean, I guess they need money. I don't
makes
know.
sense.
Hey, Anna Kendrick has apparently nabbed the lead role for Alice, Darling, a psychological thriller from director Mary Nye and Lionsgate. Kendrick will play Alice, obviously, who is behaving strangely, keeping secrets about her mercurial boyfriend and two best friends. What, is that acting strangely? Keeping secrets about your boyfriend and two best friends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Anna Kendrick, she's a good crazy chick, though.
She is.
I mean, I think it's going to be a good one.
Exactly. A Simple Favor was great.
Oh,
so
but yeah, hell yeah.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Marco Zario, best known for the stars of Dusk Till Dawn, the series, is in negotiations to join the Ensemble Lionsgate cast of John Wick 4, starring Keanu Reeves, Donnie Yen, Rina Sawayama, Scott Adkins, Lance Reddick, and Shamir Anderson are also on board this thing. Chad Stahelski returns as the director, and the film is set for a theatrical release on May 27th of 2022.
I know you're excited about that.
I'm very excited. I mean, plus you got the fourth installment of The Matrix. Like, Keanu's going to have a great year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, clearly, it's Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
I know how to make movies.
Yeah, right.
Power Book 3, in case you were wondering, Raising Kanan, the third book in the growing Power universe on Starz, has apparently got an early renewal for a second season ahead of the debut on July 18th. The prequel's greenlight comes amidst strong demand for spin-offs of rapper Curtis 50 Cent Jackson's original Power show. This one makes sense.
That does make sense. And I mean, I basically think Kanan is like who 50 Cent was before he got into the entertainment industry. So it's going to be very interesting to see how he tells his backstory again, and maybe a little different from Get Rich or Die Trying, the film. So I'm excited about that one, though, because anything he does right now has been fucking great.
For life, hopefully. IMDb,
that'd be
TV.
awesome.
That'd be awesome, yeah.
Netflix, Archewell Productions, the Netflix-based shingle launched by Prince Harry and the one and only Meghan Markle, are getting into the animation business, because who's not at the moment?
Exactly.
Meghan, the Duchess of Essex, is the creator behind Pearl, described as a family series that centers on the adventures of a 12-year-old girl who is inspired by a variety of influential women from history. Markle will executive produce Pearl, which is a working title at the moment, and with David Furnish, Carolyn Soper, Liz Garbus, and Dan Cogan, and Amanda Reinda have been tapped. She has been tapped as the showrunner and executive producer. Markle said in a statement, quote, "Like many girls her age, our heroine Pearl is on a journey of self-discovery as she tries to overcome life's daily challenges. I'm thrilled that Archewell Productions partnered with the powerhouse platform of Netflix and these incredible producers. We together bring to you this new animated series which celebrates extraordinary women throughout our history." Damn.
Yeah.
They're going to be making some great content.
They really are. Fuck you, Piers Morgan. Like,
yeah,
there you go,
seriously.
right? I'm glad for them, though. I'm
too.
just happy that everything's working out for them. Now, speaking of a powerful woman who's pretty well known in history, I'm talking about former First Lady Michelle Obama and the hubby there, Barry. Remember him? Yeah. Well, apparently Netflix has ordered a 6-part anthology, Blackout, to be produced by the Obamas' Higher Ground banner and Temple Hill. The project will tell 6 different stories of black teenagers who find love during a power outage in New York City. Now, each installment will be penned by a different writer. The project is being developed concurrently as a TV and a film project through Higher Ground's overall deal with Netflix. Now, this is interesting. This is some big names. On board to write the installments are Donnelly Clayton from the Tiny Pretty Things, Tiffany D. Jackson from Allegedly, Nick Stone from Dear Martin, Angie Thomas, The Hate You Give, Ashley Woodfolk, The Beauty That Remains, and Nicola Yoon, Everything, Everything. There's no word yet on a target premiere date for Blackout, though. So we'll keep you posted on that. But that sounds awesome.
It really does. It really does. Now, this next one's a fucking ripoff. I'm just
Of
saying.
Selena, yeah.
Of Selena. Like, what the hell? Paris is just trying to get in everybody's shit. Paris Hilton is set to star in a new series with Netflix called Cooking with Paris. The amateur cooking show will feature the hotel heiress and business mogul learning her way around the kitchen to help with her famous friends in the kitchen as well. The series will take a spin on the traditional cooking show as Hilton is not trained chef and she doesn't really know how to fucking cook. But she certainly knows how to entertain viewers at home. Cooking with Paris will launch globally on the streaming giant August 4th with 6 half-hour episodes.
She certainly knows how to entertain viewers at home. Is Netflix going wink, wink, nudge, nudge? This show's going to be naked?
Right.
Like, because that's the only way I would tune into that. Like, why are we watching this? Why are we watching it? Like, no, I'm with you. This is totally stupid.
It is.
This is totally
so
stupid. She's
dumb.
famous for being naked.
Yeah.
Or her family's rich hotels. I mean, like, nobody gives a shit.
No reason for her to be in the limelight. She's technically a DJ now, but what the fuck ever.
I just don't know.
Like, seriously.
Okay, so as bad as that is, Netflix is actually doing some decent stuff, though. Netflix and Gold House have created a partnership called Netflix Gold to amplify API stories, artists, and creators. Now, the partnership marks an evolution for the nonprofit collective of Asian and Pacific Islanders, cultural leaders behind Gold House. By expanding their support for Beyond films for Asian audiences, Gold House will work closely with Netflix to amplify all culturally relevant stories, inclusive of films, series, documentaries, and stand-ups, and will engage in the Asian and Pacific Islander community through private and public experiences to celebrate diverse, multidimensional storytelling. Yay! We need more of that. We were just talking about that. We need more Asian culture. So
love it, man. Love it. All of them are doing it.
Just don't do the Paris thing.
Don't do it. I'm just saying. Don't fucking do it. Amazon's James Corden and Sally Hawkins are to star in Amazon's upcoming comedy drama, The Mammals. Mammals, okay. The 6-part series starts production this month. Plot details are somewhat vague, but sources tell us that it is about the challenges of marriage.
And it's called Mammals?
Yeah.
I don't care. It could be called whatever. I don't give a shit. It's James Corden, so it's going to work. It's going to be funny, and I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's about as simple as it gets right there.
Very interesting.
I know. You're going to be devastated by this one. We are not.
About fucking time.
Amazon has scrapped plans to move forward with its scripted Tiger King drama and series based on the Netflix docuseries. Nicolas Cage was due to star as Joe Exotic in the series. The show, which was envisioned as an 8-episode limited series, is being shopped around to other outlets by the producers, but when asked, Nick Cage said, "It's just not relevant anymore."
Thank you.
See?
They've been listening to the show.
Yeah, even your star said it. It's just not relevant anymore.
It's just really not.
Just move on.
Thank God. Let the dead person die.
Listen to Nick.
Like, seriously. Oh, thank you, Amazon. Thank you. God damn. Now, heading over to Apple, Jon Stewart is set to get back in front of the live studio audience for his new Apple show. Stewart is shooting The Problem with Jon Stewart in New York on July 14th and July 16th in front of a fully vaccinated crowd. The series will acquire attendees to be fully vaccinated, provide official vaccination cards, and complete a wellness screening prior to entering. Audiences and crew members will be required to wear masks at all times. The show will launch this fall. This hour-long current affairs format with a single-issue topic explored each episode.
Interesting.
So I wonder, with them going so deep into, like, they're going to be okay, they're going to be vaccinated, we're going to prove it every which way. I wonder if it's going to be kind of like Oprah, where he's, like, in the crowd talking to these people about the different topics.
I don't know. That'd be interesting, though. I'm just happy to see him back on the air and doing
hilarious.
some stuff. He's great.
Yeah,
so.
seriously. Brings a very middle ground to everything.
It does. Man, that was jam-packed.
It was.
That lived up to the moniker, if it's happening in Hollywood, we're talking about it, because that was everything.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Now it is time to talk to the one and only Jared Becker.
Yes.
Guys, we're super pumped. Oh, he's such a humble individual. Like, this guy is literally busy as hell, doing everything, but literally, he picked up our phone call. We were so super surprised, because like we said, he is all over the map doing every single thing in the entertainment industry. But you guys are going to love this interview because he is a top rising star right now, and he's going to give you pieces of advice throughout the whole thing to where you can break into it and keep your mental health strong to keep moving forward.
Absolutely, and humble is the right word. This guy will not take credit for his own success.
He won't.
I mean, he had some very kind words to say about us, but trust us, he is making it because he is extremely talented, and this guy is just slaying, okay? You're going to love this one.
Agreed. Well, here he is.
Jared Becker, welcome inside the Crazy Ant Farm, man. How are you?
I'm doing really well. How are you guys doing?
Oh, man. Awesome, bro.
Living the dream.
Yes.
We're super excited to have you on, man. We've been waiting a while to talk to you. We're super stoked, and I know the fans are going to love this one. So
Perfect. Yeah, no, I've been following y'all's podcast for a long time now, and now that I get to be here, it's kind of like one of those bucket list moments for me, honestly. So I appreciate you guys so much.
Oh, dude. All right. Well, no high expectations for us to try to live up to. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, right. It's just all a fun time, man. It's all a fun time. Later down the line, we'll be talking about shows we'll watch and like recent movies that you've gone and seen. Just fun stuff. You know, we like to get a little crazy. You know how it goes.
Of course, you got to get crazy. You have to live up to that name.
Absolutely. And speaking of, man, you're living up to a name, dude. You're just slaying. You're like quickly rising out in the industry as an actor, and we're super pumped to have you on because that's so inspiring to all of the listeners. If you've been listening to the podcast a while, like you said, you know it's all about inspiring others to chase the dream and kind of helping out and getting them to what can I do, what can I not do. So let's talk about it. How did you get into acting? Was it something that you had always wanted to do, or did you kind of fall into it? Give us a story, man.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Even from a young age, I just really enjoyed creating characters to play. It was just a way to escape reality for me. I grew up in the middle of nowhere in Southern Illinois. Didn't have a whole lot to do, so why not make up your own reality?
Absolutely.
And just, one thing led to another. And I'm very blessed to, my mom didn't shy away from my creativity. She really embraced it and told me I can be whatever I wanted to be and be with whoever I wanted to be with, which was very help with the inspiration. And I just did a little bit of competitive theater in high school. And then I signed with my first agent in Nashville, Tennessee at 16.
Nice.
And then, yeah, I did some smaller things there, commercials, some background work. And then when that agent retired, I was like, oh, I've got no option right now. So I was like, I could either go to the East or West Coast and try to make it happen on my own, or I can do something to give me more life experience and help develop as a human being. So I joined the Air Force and did that for 6 years. And then I separated in 2019 from active duty, and I thought to myself, well, let's jump back in, and as I started to do it, lo and behold, the pandemic hit, everything locked down and Hollywood shut down. I was like, oh gosh, I hope this isn't a sign. But I was just really determined to do it. And the thing is, if you believe in yourself, do what you have to do to get there. So I don't think I've ever told you guys this. So I went on to IMDb and started looking at casting calls, and I found this short film, and I reached out, and it was you guys. And you were my first audition back into the industry.
Well, look at that. Okay.
That makes me feel honored.
Yeah.
Shit. Because, now you're rocking and rolling. First off, we have to say thank you for your service because, without that, it's immensely grateful for everybody here. You already know. But, like I said, that just completely humbling and honored because, you basically started the ball. You basically, you created this character that we just kind of ran with. Of course, story changes and everything happens like that, but you made the structure of this character to where when we were looking for different actors and actresses, we were like, they have to play the character like Jared played the character.
Oh, gosh, thank you so much.
Even though we changed it to a female, we needed that female to be like Jared. So
Yeah.
it was, and we should tell everybody, you absolutely blew us away with the performance, right? And so we were like, well, we're going to change this one and we're going to make it a female and we're going to kind of go in a different direction. But then we had you read for another project that we're working on and basically really kind of created a character for you in that project because we were so blown away by what you did. Yeah. So, and that one's coming, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's in my back pocket. I every time I think about it, I just get so excited.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, honestly, you guys helped really jumpstart me back into this industry.
Well,
because
good.
coming into it from being out of it for so long and thinking, I believe in myself, I feel like I have talent, and then you guys really emphasizing it and acknowledging what I was doing gave me the ability to want to keep moving forward. And here we are now, almost a year later, and all these things are happening. And I owe my success to you guys.
Oh my goodness.
Well, we'll take that, but that's not. No, that is not true, man. Your success is because you're crazy talented, bro, and But we really appreciate those words, though, because as Logan says all the time, this podcast is meant for that, to inspire people to go after their dreams and to believe in themselves. And you're the epitome of what we want to do for people with this podcast, man. So we could not be more happy that it worked out the way it's worked out for you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Of course, man. Of course. I mean, look at you now. You're freaking attached to multiple different things, and you got your projects of your own in the works. And of course, like, dude, you're everywhere now, basically. I mean, it's hard to get a hold of you. This is how busy you are. It's hard to get a hold of you.
Yeah, it happens. I am hard to get hold of. My mom yells at me every time I pick up the phone. And she's like, "Where have you been? I've been trying to get." I'm just like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so tired."
the perils of fame it gets a little tiring sometimes, right?
It really does. Yeah, I was just talking to someone that you guys know and who's a friend of mine, Rebecca Kennedy.
Yes.
She was helping me with a network audition the other day, and we were just comparing our stories and our experiences, and it's like, okay, we're both tired. Okay, wonderful. We're on the right track.
Yes, our forever guest. We love Rebecca to death. You could not be in better hands if Rebecca is helping you. She's an absolute gem.
I tell everybody about her that I can. Like, go check out her stuff. Oh, so inspiring, honestly.
Us too. That's why she's been on the show like 400 times. There's a reason we call her forever guest.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Definitely, man. So at the moment, what project are you working on, and how much can you tell us?
Oh, gosh. There are legitimately so many projects coming down the pipeline. The one that there's two that are happening right now that I'm very excited about. One is my own project, Sorry for My Loss. That is just a very personal story to me, and it's one of those films where it's very character driven. Learning to stand on your own 2 feet after maybe not feeling like enough, or resentment or narcissistic abuse, and it really just shows the parallels between the two sides of the same relationship.
Yes.
And so we are in pre-production with that one. We're solidifying dates and doing casting. I'm really excited. A good friend of mine, we co-wrote an original song for this project. And I've got another friend who's doing all the original score, and a wonderful director in Sacramento. It's coming together so beautifully. I'm just in awe that something I wrote is getting to this level.
Yeah. It's an amazing feeling, isn't it? When you put your heart and soul into something and you see it come to life, it's like just crazy awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm very thrilled that you guys were able to get that short film going, and especially all the challenges that you hit in the pandemic, and you did it. But yeah, it's a wonderful feeling.
It really is. And I mean, that's what we were talking about on set. It's a huge, like, I don't know, a boost of adrenaline, because you see, like, basically the project that you've been working on for like 5 months plus, like, in everybody else's hands, and as like passionate about it as you are. Like, it's an amazing feeling.
Yeah, and I think that aids to my thought of set being my safe space.
Yes.
To be creative.
Yes.
Because we're all there for the same purpose. And as far as any other actor who is just coming out and wanting to join this industry, it feels this way because I know I did. I was terrified of being on set and acting in general, because I always thought if you do a certain move, it's embarrassing, or maybe I shouldn't do it this way, or go all out because I don't want to look dumb. But in reality, like, your people, that crew and the casting hired you to do a specific job, and they want you to try everything and let yourself be free. And it's like, okay, great. these people's paychecks depend on me doing my job, so let me do it to the best of my ability.
Right.
And it's just set became the safe space. I can be as outrageous as I need to for the character, or kind of be as silly as I want to be, as long as it works and it gets the job done and it gives good integrity to the story.
Yeah, exactly. And on this set, it was my first ever time being on set, and of course the directorial debut, but it was just like a very open, very collaborative set. Like everybody had their input. We had a couple of other newcomers as well that had never been on a set, and even they were given input, given their thoughts and opinions. So I thought that was an amazing thing that they weren't too like scared or anxious to not speak up. So everybody it was like a family. It really was.
Yeah, that's
like
exactly
it was
what
a
it is.
very like humbling experience just to like Dustin and I were talking about this off air, and it's just like nothing is ever going to compare to that one for me, just because everybody got along so well. You would have thought these people have known each other for years and have worked together before on projects, but like they just clicked like that. Like our first AC and our director of photography, like they worked so well together. Like director of photography was like, hey, go get this lens, go get this stand. And like first AC was like there. He was able to knock it out. Like it was just such an amazing feeling that it's going to be hard to top for the next one. Hopefully we can just bring everybody back.
Well, I mean, it's in like light, right? You never forget your first.
Yeah,
Exactly.
100%.
That's, I mean, so, and because you're doing it as a writer too, and so that's with our other project, that the one that we've got a role for you for, I mean, to see the character come off the page and come to life when an actor as skilled as you, or another actor, for anybody who's trying to do this, when you see somebody's talent bring something that came out of your head to life, right, off of that two-dimensional page and into 3D life, it's an amazing feeling, man.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's like, oh, wait a minute, that's real now. So
yeah, and it's always interesting to see their interpretation. Because when you
Always.
write it, you know how it sounds in your head.
Right.
And then someone looks at the scene and you have your emotions for it, but they bring it a whole different light to you, and you're like, oh gosh, I never thought of it that way.
And then, Jared, then you get that really rare occurrence like we did with you, where your interpretation of the character and how you read it is exactly how we envisioned the character when we wrote it. And that doesn't happen very often. So when it does, you just know that's right. And so that congratulations, man, because that was like, yes, this is exactly how we planned on this character to be. All right, so we got to keep talking about you, though. Let's not talk about our project so much. You. We've got a big one, right? The most decorated World War II hero, correct? You're getting ready to play this guy.
Yeah, Reveille.
Yes.
Playing Audie Murphy. Literally a full circle dream come true moment for me.
Absolutely. Talk about it a little bit, what you can, because, you know.
We know.
Yeah, that sweet NDA. This is a project that I spoke with the writer and director Michael Ackerman very early on when he was developing the first draft of the script. And we talked about it, and it was just a phenomenal project. And I wanted to be a part of it so bad. And then we had a scheduling conflict on my end, and I had to withdraw. And then he came back and was like, hey, I really want you to be a part of this project. Can we make it work? And we did. COVID canceled a lot of other projects. And I was like, I'm available. Like, please, like, let me in. and then just Audie, his life and his legacy is phenomenal. This man it's not your typical war story where it's the hero, and I mean, he is a hero by any means. He's a legend, most decorated World War II veteran in United States history.
Right.
But in his book, he talks about, he's like, I didn't like war. My favorite part of war was when it ended. And I personally, being a military veteran, resonated with that. You don't go into it because you love fighting. You go because you have a purpose of doing what's right and doing the best for your country. And that's what Audie did. He forged paperwork when he was underage so he could join the army.
Wow.
He wanted to do what's right for his country, and he did it just relentlessly and very brave. And the fact that I get to portray this character and bring him back to life is just, I have to stop myself sometimes and just soak it in because I'm always rushing around. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're doing this. And the story that Michael's doing is a specific chapter out of Audie's book, To Hell and Back, where we're focusing on a war scene between the U.S. and Germany, and what happens during that is we're focused on the psychological effect that war does on someone, and what happens when you're face to face with an enemy trying to survive. And people don't think about that because you just go into it of I have to defeat this and this is my mission, but look back at the person, because at the end of the day, everybody's a human being and you have feelings and you have families. You are somebody's brother, uncle, son, whatever. And that's what people need to think about, because I know I thought about that every single day when I served in the Air Force.
Absolutely. I mean, the guy, in front of you is the enemy, but to him, he's just doing what he thinks is best for his country because that's what he's been taught, and that's what it's a great point to try to bring up, because understanding war is war and the enemy is the enemy, but these people are just doing what they think is right as well, and they're human beings as well, and like you said, probably have a family, and so yeah, it's a difficult. That's an excellent way to tell a story, man.
Yeah, and it's unlike any war film that I've seen or read about, because the way Michael and his team are going about this, it's so intricate and there's so much attention to detail. The advisors that they brought in is phenomenal. They're making sure every minute detail is historically correct. And between the props that we're having and location and the way production's going is the cast is camping out that entire time of production.
Wow.
So we can have the wear and tear of the environment on us.
Nice.
Talk about method.
Yeah, that's extreme method. And it's just making sure, not only is it physically the environment on us, but mentally how we're going through that and putting ourselves in their shoes the best that we can. Right. And I tell people, I make this joke, I was like, I didn't even do anything this tough when I was in the military.
But you can hear the passion in your voice about it, about both your own project and about this one. And that's why you're going to knock it out of the park, man, because when you're so passionate about it and you can bring some life experience and your own experience into a character, I mean, that's how you connect. That's how the audience connects to it. And I think you're just going to slay it, man.
Thank you so much.
Of course. You know we have high hopes for you. We're one of your biggest supporters. You already know that. But, yes. Man, this past year has been crazy. Like you said, I mean, it was a crazy time to jump back into it. And during the pandemic, did you ever have self-doubt? Or were you just trying to keep motivated and keep moving forward and trying to find the next project?
I think everybody has those self-doubts. And what I've learned, and for any other actor as well, is this industry can be lonely. Mm-hmm. And especially if you're surrounded by people who, again, I was in Northern California.
Right.
And my inner circle wasn't in entertainment or didn't know too much about it. And so it was constantly being your own hype man and trying to find these projects and asking people, hey, can I jump on there and just get some credit, get something going, and just really grinding as hard as you can. And I was doing an interview last night, and one of the questions was, what advice do you have to other actors? And the first thing is just, you have to believe in yourself, because why should other people believe in you if you don't?
There you go.
And every day it's waking up and looking in the mirror and thinking, you can do this. You are here for a reason. It doesn't matter if anyone supports you. As long as you got you can do this.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing too, because I mean, we also talk about with a lot of people how support system is a big thing, but sometimes you have to be your own support system. Even though when you're having the down days, when you're having the mental health struggles, it's important to try to at least do a little something to keep moving forward, because if you miss a day, you're not going to get that day back.
Right. And it's just constantly practicing. Even on days where there's no audition, it's just researching monologues and practicing and seeing how deep I can go into an emotional state.
Right.
I'm an emotional person by trade, so.
Yeah, me too. I cry at everything. It's
come
fine.
on.
Oh, everything. I get emotional for everything.
I just went and watched the new Space Jam today, and I damn near cried. It's everything.
Oh gosh, I'm going to see that soon. Yeah, I need to.
Good luck.
I got to be prepared.
Good luck.
Well, okay, so you have been doing all this stuff though, right? And you are an emotional guy, and you get into it, and you're having a hard time. So we have to know, there has to be an embarrassing moment somewhere, right? On set, or I mean, what's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened or that you've ever done on set?
A lot.
Well, pick one, Jared.
I would say it's embarrassed. I felt embarrassed doing it, but I couldn't control it. I was on set on June 7th. My birthday's June 6th.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I was on set the next day, having a good time, and there was a knock at the door. And long story short, the cast and crew surprised me with a birthday cake, and they were all singing to me.
Oh, wow.
And I just start bawling. And I'm in my suit. I'm ready for the scene. It's a very sexual scene is what it was.
Right.
Kind of like flirting back and forth. And then you go from, Jared Becker portraying this sexy man who's trying to swoon these people to an emotional baby who's crying. And then I'm like, oh crap, now they have to look at me and be like, all right, we're back in character, let's do this.
Right.
That, for me, I was like, oh, that was really embarrassing, I'm sorry.
That's hilarious. Well, I'll give you one of my own. My freshman year of high school, I was in The Beauty and the Beast, and it was one of the kind of the ransack scenes where Gaston's people come into the castle, try to find the Beast, and I was one of Gaston's cronies. And at one point in time, the candlestick guy was supposed to burn my butt, and I was supposed to jump up and run away. And so he does this. He puts his candlesticks basically up my ass, and I jump and completely fall flat on my face. And the audience just starts laughing, busting out crazy, and I just get up with pride and run off stage. It was absolutely wild. Probably
as a professional does.
Exactly.
That's right. The beauty of theater. Ah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't know how y'all do it with theater and live shows. I like being on set where we can do multiple takes, but theater, you guys, it's live.
Yeah, exactly. You have
mess
to
up, you gotta
figure
roll with
out
it.
how to get yourself out of that situation, even if you forget lines, anything like that, and performing for the back, so you have to basically yell everything. So, but I mean, it's fun. It definitely is fun. Would you ever think about going into theater?
As much as it terrifies me, I still would.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because, yeah. 'Cause I have a lot of friends who do theater, and I've got friends on Broadway, and I ask them, how is it? What? And you just rehearse so much that it becomes second nature.
Yeah.
And you, like you said, you just roll with it. I would do it for sure. I would need a year to rehearse.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's definitely
would do
something
it.
crazy to prepare for. What about a little bit of directing or some camera work or editing? Anything like that interest you?
It really does, because as I write, I'm a very visual person, and so I see it all play out, and I can look at the different camera angles in my head.
Mm-hmm.
So I make the notes in the script, and I send to the director, and he's a friend of mine, and he's very open to my input. I'm like, this is what I need this to look like for this specific scene.
There you go. Yeah.
So I think it's really amazing how these people work, directors and cameramen, and to get these shots. And yeah, let me master one craft.
Yeah, right. Hold on, let me get this first.
I'm pretty sure you just created a new terminology for the industry, Kangle.
Yeah. Need to get them angles.
I heard that.
No.
These are the Kangles I want. That's camera angles,
Kangle.
Kangle. Now we need a T-shirt with that, Kangle. That's
You can't see,
fantastic.
my face is so red right now.
Hey, when that hashtag Kangle becomes a thing, man, that's all you, okay?
That's all me. Gotta patent that.
That's so freaking funny. But I mean, you're a busy guy, so I'm wondering if you've had any time to watch any new movies or watch any shows. What have you been binging, man?
Yeah, Schitt's Creek
Okay.
forever.
Yeah, I heard that's really good.
So I love Eugene and Dan Levy,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they're phenomenal people. The other one, just WandaVision.
Yes.
Yes.
Everything Marvel. Lizzie Olsen is one of my favorite people in the world, and if I could work with anybody, it would have to be her.
And the fact that you call her Lizzie, then see, you're a true fan, right? Because it's Lizzie. That's so yes. Oh my God, yeah. So I totally agree. If there's anybody that I would ever want to put in a film, it would be Lizzie. She's fantastic. So maybe you two together. Maybe Logan and I can direct you two together. Oh my God, that'd be epic.
Listen, we'll make it work. But I got so happy and excited when she got nominated for her Emmy.
Right?
Yes, yeah.
And I was like, it's well deserved. She was amazing in every other project, and I just was like, this is very well deserved.
Exactly. And I mean, it's kind of surprising to me as well because the industry has kind of been trying to shy away from the superhero shows and the superhero movies and like, you know, the Star Wars stuff. But Mandalorian got like tied with the most Emmy nominations, and WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier got nominated for a whole bunch of stuff. So I mean, the future is bright for Disney, man. The future is really bright.
Yeah. I would say the other show that I just started watching was Hacks on HBO.
Yeah.
Jean Smart is phenomenal. And there's a quote that she did, and one of the episodes, like early on episodes, like episode 2 or 3, and she says, in this industry, being good is the minimum. It's the baseline. You have to be so much more than good. And even if you're great and lucky, you still have to work really hard.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right.
And I think about this because I have friends who have been doing this longer than I have. And I'm here by pure luck. And I'm very grateful and blessed. But I do work my tail off. And they're like, you know, what's your secret? What did you do? And I was like, I annoyed people until they got me the job. But it's like I practice very hard, and everyone should practice. An athlete, someone doesn't wake up one day and like, I'm going to go play football and score the winning touchdown. No, athletes train for hours and hours a day, 7 days a week to be the best that they can. And an actor, a director, a writer should do the exact same thing.
Yeah, you hear it all the time. If you're an actor, act. If you're a director, direct. I mean, that's what you do. You're not a writer unless you're writing. So you're exactly right. You've got to exercise the craft. You got to practice at it. You got to work at it every single day, all the time. That's what you do.
Yeah.
And then you get rejected 99% of the time. But that's this industry, right? You know.
I learned that it is. Someone said this to me about being rejected, and they're like, It's not a rejection. It's a not right now. And I'm like, did you give me the part? Like, no. I was like, you kind of rejected me for the part, but I get where you're going with that.
That's hilarious. Oh my goodness. Well, listen, man, thank you so much for coming on the show and getting a little crazy. We really appreciate it. And definitely anytime that you want to come back on. We have a whole industry news segment, as you know. We can deep dive into the entertainment industry. We know you got some thoughts and opinions about everything, so that would be a whole lot of fun.
So many thoughts and opinions.
But before we let you go, I mean, we normally do the piece of advice for actors, but you've been sprinkling that everywhere. So we're going to skip that one and go into what pitfalls would you say to try to avoid for an actor trying to come up in the entertainment industry?
Pitfalls. Understand that you don't know everything.
Yes.
There are people that walk around that think, I did a commercial, I'm the best thing in this town, I know absolutely everything, and you don't. You never stop learning, and be humble. And in a world where you can be anybody, just be yourself.
So good.
Yeah, that's really good. I mean, I've known a few of those people that think they do.
Yeah. I mean, him and I talk about it all the time, Jared. And, like, basically we think, once you think you know everything, that's when you're done. Because this entertainment, like, this industry changes so often, like, literally every single day something changes. So, like, you're nonstop learning. There's no way you're going to know everything. So you have to keep going and keep going with the waves, man. I mean, you got to ride them to get to that next point.
Absolutely.
All right. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to link, by the way, your crowdfunding for your film, because that's extremely important, and we want to make sure everybody gets an opportunity to check that out. So we will definitely do that. But we know you just got a new publicist and you're rocking and rolling, but we're still going to tell everybody where they can follow you. So, Jared, tell everybody where they can follow you.
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram at Jared Becker 93, and I'm there, and I'm posting all my updates to my projects and any fun, exciting things that are happening in my life. You'll be the first one to know right there.
There you go.
Fantastic, man. Fantastic. Well, listen, thank you again. We appreciate it so much. You always know we're here for you if you need anything. And, yeah, man, it was just a blast talking to you, and the fans are really going to enjoy this one.
Yes, thank you guys so much, and you have a great rest of your night.
Of course.
You too, man.
You as well. Talk to you later.
All right, bye.
See ya. I just love talking to him, man. He's so, like, inspirational. Like, he's not afraid to do things. He's like, no, I mean, I got to do whatever it takes, even if it means annoying people, you know?
I mean, you know, and I love what he said. I'm just going to get on the IMDb, and I'm going to look for open casting calls, and I'm going to submit to all of them, and I'm going to see what I get. I mean, that's the way you do it. Like, just, what a great guy, man.
Exactly. Thank you again, Jared Becker, for coming on the show. Alrighty, it is time for the top 5 segment. Thank you so much for getting a little crazy with us, but now it is time to get even more crazy.
That's right.
Because it is top 5 Tom Cruise movies this week, and I gotta say, Tom Cruise sucks. I mean, he's got good movies, but man, this guy sucks.
I know. I'm sure that's what everybody was thinking when they read that we were going to be doing this, because I constantly say how much I just do not like Tom Cruise.
But you love his
But you cannot deny that he's got, like, the best fucking movies. Like, I'm super pumped to see Maverick. I'm not going to lie. I can't wait till it comes out. It's just like, he's got fucking good movies.
Right.
What are you going to do?
I know. What are you going to do? This asshole. Fucking... So my number 5 goes to basically the whole Mission Impossible franchise, because I mean this is basically something that he's made sure that stayed alive since what, 2000 or some stupid shit like that. Before that maybe, like he just keeps putting these things out and doesn't seem to stop anytime soon. And I mean, of course they're the classic just action flick. There's a problem, somebody's chasing him, like he gets it done. But I mean, they're entertaining. That's really all I'm asking for when I go to the movies, to be entertained. So
yeah,
I mean, yeah, my number 5, the whole Mission Impossible franchise.
There you go. My number 5 is I just gotta say it. And I know, first of all, before I even start, you guys are all thinking 80s, 80s, 80s. You thought I was coming with All the Right Moves or Risky Business or something like that, but I did not. I'm choosing things out of the 80s, and I'm okay with that. It's fine. It's good. Now, okay, my number 5, Cocktail with Elizabeth Shue, Brian Brown, Tom Cruise. Basically about this army guy that gets out of the army and he wants to be like this hugely successful business guy, wants to become a millionaire or whatever, but he takes a job working at a bar, and he's a bartender, and he comes across this guy that's like kick-ass, doing all these spinning kind of things and like all these tricks with the drinks, and he basically kind of learns this gig and whatever, eventually opens up a bar in Jamaica and is like kicking ass or whatever, kind of doing it, and becomes a millionaire, right? Yeah. But I mean, it's Elizabeth Shue and Tom Cruise, probably like Elizabeth Shue at the height of right after Karate Kid and everything, like when she's just slamming it, and Brian Brown, who plays the mentor. You know, it's a fantastic fucking movie.
It is a good one.
Much like Top Gun, Cocktail made everybody want to be a fucking bartender. Like, if that's the life, let's just go be flipping drinks and shit. So, Cocktail, my number 5.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Number 4 and 3 are definitely movies that Tom Cruise was just in and not the main star. But, it's Tom Cruise film, so I went with it. Number 4 was Tropic Thunder. I mean, he was absolutely hilarious. I mean, he had, like, the fake bald toupee thing on and was, like, overweight and, like, the hilarious agent for Robert Downey Jr. So I thought he made a very nice, like, cameo in that film that made the film all that more better. That film has not aged as well as I'm sure people have hoped, and I'm sure some of the actors wish they could unattach themselves to that one. But, it is what it is. The past is the past, and we can only move forward.
Hey, look, fact is, that character, though, the agent, went over so well and was so popular that they are still talking about doing a movie with just that character. So, I mean, you can't take away Tom Cruise's, contribution to that film.
Exactly.
It was fucking hilarious. All right, my number 4, New Orleans. I lived there forever. How could I not put this one on there? Anne Rice's brilliant interview with the vampire.
I've never even heard of this film. I swear, I've never even
How the fuck have you not heard of this? Especially when your hair boy's in there, Brad Pitt. Brad fucking Pitt. Who's not in this movie? Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, Antonio Banderas, Kirsten Dunst, Christian Slater. Like, how the fuck have you not heard of this movie?
This must have been the one that he really wanted to get out of, but could not get out of.
I don't know, but it's a brilliant fucking movie. Interview with the Vampire. Cruise and Pitt playing vampires, and maybe a little love there. Christian Slater is the one doing the interview with the vampire. Kirsten Dunst, very, very young Kirsten Dunst, bitten and taken into the love affair with the two vampires, if you will. It's a huge film. It's if you're into Anne Rice and vampires and all of the stuff that she kind of, this is the film for you. If you haven't seen it, I just don't even know how you haven't seen it. See it, Interview with the Vampire. And if you look really closely and you go frame by frame, very slowly throughout, I'm just going to say, you might see me. You might see me. I was in there in the background as an uncredited extra in the crowd scene somewhere. Find me.
Just
him. Find me.
Make it a game. Where's Dustin? Where's Dustin? My number 3 for me, like I said, just featured in it, and this was one of the blink and you miss him kind of, but I mean, it's such a good movie, so I mean, I have to talk about it. The Outsiders. Yeah, Tom Cruise was in The Outsiders. He was a part of the gang. I forget what his name was, but he was a part of it. He's the guy that did a backflip off the car.
Yes!
And so, I mean, he was just, his little tiny scenes that he knocked him out of the park. So, bravo, Tom Cruise. I'm in love with Katie Holmes. I'm in love with Katie Holmes. I don't know.
All right, my number 3, it has to be on the list. If it's not on your list as a favorite Tom Cruise movie, I don't know what's wrong with you. Something is wrong with you. I'm, of course, talking about Aaron Sorkin's brilliant A Few Good Men. Rob Reiner directed, Aaron Sorkin written, brilliantly performed by every actor in there. Of course, Tom Cruise, Jack Nicholson, Demi Moore, Kevin Pollak, Kevin Bacon, like so many good. Sit there in your faggoty white uniform. That, by the way, that would never fly again. No. But, you know, and the big speech. Did you order the code red, right? You want me on that wall. You need me on that. Just this whole fucking movie is brilliant. It started off as a play by Sorkin. It ends up as a movie with Rob Reiner. And it's likely probably... And I can't believe I'm about to say this, but it's likely Jack Nicholson's greatest performance. And he's had, like, you know, a shit ton of fucking great performances. And Cruise, I'm going to just say it, held his own against Nicholson.
Yeah.
That scene, that Did You Order the Code Red scene in the end there, he held his own against Nicholson, which is not easy to do.
No.
Not at all. So, yeah, my number 3, A Few Good Men.
Very good. Very good. My number 2 goes to Rain Man. Yeah. Fit that 122 toothpicks on the floor. So I mean, this one I just recently watched for the first time, and it was amazing. Honestly, I mean, the chemistry between Dustin Hoffman. I mean, he just knocks it out of the park.
Oh yeah,
he is one of the all-time greatest ever. Very much like What's Eating Gilbert Grape type level, you know, Leo. Just saying, you got to throw Leo in there whenever I can. But Rain Man, I mean, Tom Cruise is really good at playing an asshole that gets redeemed. Because that's who he is. He's an asshole that gets redeemed by his movies. So, yeah. And I mean, you know, I kind of didn't like how that one ended, though. I mean, they just kind of, sent him off on the train, and that was it.
I know.
Like, you know.
Poor Charlie.
Yeah, poor Charlie.
Charlie Babbitt had to send his brother off.
Exactly.
Charlie Babbitt.
Charlie Babbitt.
Yeah, 97X. Bam! By the way, that's the future of rock and roll, if you didn't know. And Kmart sucks. All right.
Oh, my God.
All right, my number 2. You know it. You love it. You've got the Need for Speed. It's how you learned how to high five and low five at the same time. Come on. Well, of course, you know. Take Her Home or Lose Her Forever. There's so many great things in this movie that it's the best. And honestly, the greatest recruitment tool ever for the United States Navy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm, of course, talking about Top Gun.
Yeah.
This movie is one of the all-time best movies ever. I'm just going to say it. I'm excited to see the sequel, Maverick, with Miles Teller and everything. I'm just going to be blown away. But this movie is like, I mean, everybody wanted to be Maverick and Goose. Or if you were like an asshole, you wanted to be Iceman. But either or Wolfman, or just any of them, all the call signs were fucking fantastic. You wanted to be riding down on your fucking motorcycle on the runway chasing the fucking jet. You know you did. You wanted to be in the fucking danger zone. You know it. You love it. Highway 2, bitches. Look, inverted bullshit. Yeah, you remember inverted line? Yeah. Guys, I'm just saying, it's probably should be at the top of the list, but it's not for me. But it should be probably Top Gun. And, yeah, I mean, fuck, man. Meg Ryan and fucking Anthony Edwards and Val Kilmer and Tom Cruise. Like, how can you not love this fucking movie?
Right.
It's badass. I mean, and I wasn't kidding about it. When that movie came out, it was so popular that the Navy started setting up recruitment tables outside of the theaters, and they had like the biggest surge of naval recruitment enrollees in history because they all wanted to be fucking Top Gun pilots.
Yeah.
Maybe less than 1% actually
exactly.
became one, but they all signed up. They were all wanting the aviator glasses, and plus you've lost that love and fear. I mean, there's so many epic parts of this movie. It had to be there.
Of course.
Top Gun.
Yes. We went to Captain Marvel about 2 years ago, and there, any film that has anything to do with any sort of branches of the military, they're at the movie theaters waiting for you to come out. Number one for me is You Had Me at Hello.
Oh, Jerry Maguire. Yeah.
So good. Show me the money. It was another example of asshole turned into good guy trying to figure it out. But this one also, when I was watching it, I was like, ooh, this one probably didn't age well either. For its time period, you have to put yourself back. Don't just watch it. Just watch it. Be entertained, have fun. But yeah. Number one for me, Jerry Maguire, Tom Cruise, Renee Zellweger, when she still looked okay and was still okay just as a person. But yeah, that's when everybody was fine.
Yeah, everybody. Our boy Jerry O'Connell's in that one.
Yeah.
Troy Aikman's in that one. There's so many good people in that movie. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right, my number one, and the only reason that it's above Top Gun is because you guys hear me talk about this over and over and over all the time. I'm infatuated with, in love with, ancient Japanese culture, the Shogun era, the ninjas, the imperial palaces, everything. So my number one only makes sense that it's The Last Samurai. It's fucking brilliant. I'm sorry, but you can hate Tom Cruise all you want to, but he's fantastic in this film, and it's beautiful. It's the most beautifully shot Tom Cruise film I've ever seen. It's absolutely brilliant. It's basically about this Civil War, hero, if you will, but he's kind of a wash-up and has been at this point. And he's hired as a military advisor to go over and help the West defeat Japan. And basically, get rid of the imperial palaces and the emperors and all that kind of stuff. Introduction of the Gatling machine gun and all that kind of stuff. Well, he gets over there, and he's captured by the samurai, and he learns their culture. And by the way, Ken Watanabe, just fucking brilliant as the head samurai, right? But basically, they convert Tom Cruise, and he The Last Samurai, he fights with them against the fucking Americans and goes down in battle trying to defend, because he learns the culture and he learns what they're all about, and he comes to appreciate what it all means. And I think that's why I love it so much, because I'm so indoctrinated into that philosophy and that kind of background and kind of stuff like that. So just brilliant. If you haven't seen it, really check it out. It's fucking fantastic. I even have the sword. I have the Last Samurai sword. I do. I do. And that's where I became a huge fan of Ken Watanabe. Yeah. He's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. And just, yeah.
Yeah, there it is,
Last
guys.
We still fucking hate Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
but, you know.
Let us know your top 5 Tom Cruise movies. We want to know. Be sure to comment all that good stuff on social media. We love the fan interaction.
Yes.
Or if you just want to say you hate Tom Cruise, just tell us you hate Tom Cruise. It's fine. We don't care. It's fine.
Tom, come on the show and debate us.
Exactly.
Do it.
Exactly. Let us know how you feel about vaccines and prescription drugs and Ritalin. Yeah,
and Katie Holmes.
Anyway, going over to the box office recap, like we've been talking about, Black Widow blew everything out of the water last week, which well-deserved. Awesome Marvel movie to come back to the theaters with.
Yes.
They pulled in $80 million at the number 1 spot.
Yes.
F9, The Fast Saga, pulled in at $10.9 million at the number 2 slot. Number 3 was The Boss Baby Family Business, pulled in $8.7 million. Number 4 was The Forever Purge, pulled in $6.7 million.
Still want to see that.
And number 5 was The Quiet Place Part 2, pulled in $3 million.
I watched it at home.
Yeah. Movies that are coming out this weekend that you can go see right now: Space Jam: A New Legacy, Out of Death, Escape Room, Tournament of Champions, Pig, and a Die in a Gunfight. Damn. Funny story about Space Jam. It's very much structured. It's very much the same template as the original Space Jam.
Sure.
So not giving too much away. They're losing in the first half, and they come into the locker room, and they're like, man, what are we going to do? And Donald Duck comes back into the locker room. He's like, you guys, you won't believe it. I found Michael Jordan. He was out there. He was in the crowd. He's in there. He's going to come help us. And, like, it's a slow-mo of somebody coming in. I mean, the guy's wearing Jordan shoes. Like, it's a silhouette of the person. He comes in, and it's Michael B. Jordan.
Nice.
And they're like, you couldn't fucking find Michael A. Jordan. You got to find B. Jordan. And it was just so funny. And Michael B. was just like, I was just at the line getting popcorn, and this duck, like, pulled me in the locker room. I don't know what's going on, but
That's hilarious.
good job. Good luck, King James. You came back 3-1. Yeah. So it's really good. And they also reference Bob Knight, Indiana IU Hoosiers. Bob Knight throwing the chair on the floor.
Of course.
I mean, I just absolutely love that part.
Okay.
Movies you can still go see right now are Cruella, The Hitman's Bodyguard's Wife, Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway, In the Heights, and Zola.
I want to see Zola. It was at our theater, and then it got bumped this weekend for, but I'm hoping there's still one around because I really want to see it.
Yeah.
Looks really good.
Next one I really want to see is that Drew Bell. It's only open on next Thursday, so it's like, shit, I'm going.
Yeah. The Wahlberg, man.
yeah.
Congrats on the Billionaires Club, buddy.
Seriously.
Want to finance us?
Right? Exactly. Now heading over to the IMDb Pro top trending segment. Man, we love this app. You guys already know how we feel about it. We hold it near and dear to our heart. It's so good.
It is.
The top trending movie is The Tomorrow War, which you watched it.
I did, and it was not what I expected. I thought it was going to be like a knockoff of The Edge of Tomorrow or something like that. Not. It's actually a really entertaining movie, and Chris Pratt is phenomenal in it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Sets up a sequel, and and... Man, I mean, just like everybody's jacked in that film. Like everybody is jacked in that film. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch it and you'll see, and you'll be like, "Damn,
that's hilarious."
Like, yeah, it's fucking funny as shit. But it's a really good movie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and by no surprise, the top trending TV show is Loki.
Yes.
So good, man, so good. I wonder if it's gonna hold that spot for the next couple weeks until What If comes out, and I also want to see what their viewership numbers are going to be, because I mean, animated and kind of like an anime format, so I don't know if it's going to be as high as the other three were.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. And the top trending star is Yvonne Strahovski,
who is Chris Pratt's daughter.
Yeah.
Grown daughter.
If
you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, watch The Tomorrow War.
Watch it. Amazon Prime, baby. Amazon Prime. Well, thank you so much for getting crazy with us on episode 166 of Inside the Crazy Ant Farm. We got to thank our guest one more time, Jared Becker, for coming on the show and getting a little crazy. Be sure to follow him at Jared Becker on Instagram. And you guys know you can follow us on social media. We're at Crazy Ant Media and at ITCAFpodcast.
Yes, we
on
are.
all social media platforms. Well, you can follow us both personally on social media. Myself at JLoFantastic and
at Crazy Ant Guy 1970.
That's right. And you guys know you can subscribe to this podcast anywhere you listen to your podcast. I'm talking Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Stitcher, and so much more. If you're watching this video on YouTube, we really freaking appreciate it. We got to get our YouTube numbers up, so we're really focusing on that. You guys know you can like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell for all of those latest and greatest Crazy Ant notifications get right sent to your phone. It's an amazing thing, man.
It is an amazing thing.
And you guys know you can visit our website, www.crazyantmedia.com, where you can start rocking the latest and greatest Crazy Ant Media gear. Follow us on social media so you can know when the promotions will be, so you can get the 15%, the 20%, the free shipping, all that good stuff. And, of course, we got our Pride merch. We got our classic film merch. It's so freaking amazing. We got something for everybody, guys, so be sure to head over there and start looking a little crazy good.
Yes.
So, but yeah, man, I mean, this was honestly a really fun show.
It was a really fun show.
Like, so many different parts that I thoroughly enjoyed. Obviously, Jared coming on the show, and I mean, my head was growing so big it could not be contained inside this room the way this man was talking about us. Like, it just made me feel so good. It made me feel good that, I mean, other people feel this way about us because, I mean, we put out so much good into the world. And, sometimes we get some negativity back, but it's always good to hear those positive words of encouragement.
I agree with you. And we say it over and over, and I post about it all the time. It's like my main goal in life is to inspire people. If you can just inspire one person, and to hear him say something like, it's because of us that now he's doing what he's did because we believed in his talent and made him think, then that's worth everything to us. Like that's worth more than money, more than the fame, success. To hear that we inspired somebody to live the life they want to live and do what they want to do, that's priceless, man.
Agreed. But I mean, talking about the Emmys, talking about like Marvel is just on top of the world. Disney is just on top of the world. Wait until all these Star Wars shows also start hitting at the same time as Marvel. They're gonna pass like all the other streamers so quickly. It's gonna be crazy. But I mean, what was your favorite?
Obviously, anytime we talk about superhero stuff, I mean, obviously, Marvel rules. I thoroughly enjoyed the interview as well. And I'm just going to say it. I fucking loved the top 5. Fuck you, Tom Cruise. Fuck you. But yeah, man, it's so great. I mean, anytime we can poke fun and have a good laugh over something, it's always a fun time. And those are my favorite parts of the show. Man.
Exactly. It was a really good one. And you guys know we conclude it the way we do all of our shows by showing the appreciation to the one, the only, Oprah!